Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, I've come across this headline a couple of times. At first, I didn't believe it, but I keep coming across it, so I thought it's about time to report on this. Why HBC enrollment is exploding and what officials are doing to keep it that way. Enrollment is growing at historically black colleges and universities around the country as student interest grows. So this is very good news. This article comes from The Root, and it says, record numbers of new students will hit HBCU campuses this fall. This is good news for the schools that have been producing a large percentage of black professionals and students of color seeking a more nurturing and inclusive college experience. And that is true. I really loved my HBCU experience. As Forbes reported, Howard University saw a 12% increase in applications for their incoming freshman class this year, receiving 37,000 applications for just 2,500 seats. Applications to Florida A&M University have almost doubled in the last 2 years. The Tallahassee HBCU received over 12,000 applications for less than 4,000 seats. See, these black students are not playing with these so-called Ivy League universities. They are showing that they have options, and a lot of white students and other non-black students are applying to these schools too. The surge in interest is even impacting lesser-known HBCUs like Edward Waters University in Jacksonville, Florida, which has seen an over 160% increase in applications since 2019. Jennifer Price, Edward Waters, Vice President of Enrollment Management, told Forbes that admitting more students has helped the school's reputation and influence to grow, creating a positive feedback loop that attracts even more high-quality applicants in the future. Experts have pointed to several factors that have contributed to the increase in HBCU interest, including conservative efforts to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at schools around the country, and the Supreme Court's June 2023 decision to take away college and universities' ability to consider race as a factor in admissions. There are over 100 HBCUs in the United States, and some of the most successful black Americans in the United States went to HBCUs, including Kamala Harris, who just comes up conveniently. HBCUs also have a proven track record of producing alumni who succeed in their chosen fields. According to White House data, 40% of all black engineers, 50% of black lawyers, 70% of black doctors, and 80% of black judges graduated from an HBCU. But as more students apply to HBCUs, more still needs to be done to make sure schools have the resources to keep them there. According to the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, HBCUs endowments are 1/8 the average size of historically white colleges and universities. The schools are also doing their part to attract and retain new students by expanding their offerings. Xavier University in New Orleans signed an agreement in April with Ochsner Medical Center to establish a medical school, joining only 4 other historically black medical schools in the United States. So again, we really have to thank our ancestors for aggressively pushing for education for the children of the newly enslaved back in the 1800s. The HBCUs were established in the mid-18 to the early 1900s. So these schools have been operating and successfully serving the Black American community for a long time. With all the integration and all of this, we sort of kicked our own schools aside, but they still found a way to thrive. They found a way to survive and thrive. And now we need them again. And they're there. And this time we shouldn't abandon our own schools. Philanthropists are also stepping up to help, with big money donors like Rhonda Stryker, Mackenzie Scott, and Netflix chairman and co-founder Reed Hastings contributing millions to HBCUs around the country. Michael A. Bailey, Executive Director of Undergraduate Admissions and Transfer Services at North Carolina Central University, told Forbes that the recognition is long overdue, and most certainly it is long overdue. But those schools have been holding their own for all this time. My HBCU was established in 1867 and is still going. My husband's HBCU was established in 1875. One of my brothers graduated from Tuskegee University, used to be Tuskegee Institute. It was established in 1881 and is still going strong. Both of our grandmothers attended Tuskegee. And this is mind-blowing. Clark Atlanta University has set a new benchmark for freshman applications, surpassing one of its neighboring schools. Yesterday, University President Dr. George French announced the remarkable achievement, stating to see 46,000 applications for just 1,200 seats is nothing less than phenomenal. According to Clark Atlanta University's Office of Undergraduate Enrollment, this year the university has received more than 46,000 applications for the incoming freshman class of 2028, a 6% increase from last year and an 18% increase since 2022, directly after the pandemic. You know, sometimes it takes a while for people to realize what they have, but now we see. So then they're going to try to pull a fast one and say, you can't get in this school and you can't get in that school. And we say, okay, fine. We'll get in our own schools. And let us remember, these schools are successful. HBCUs are successful. We're turning out more doctors, more lawyers, more teachers, more engineers than the PWIs. Successful. So anyway, I'm glad to report this, and I hope you're glad to hear this wonderful news. HBCUs are coming into their own. Okay, thank you for listening. Have a good evening.